Yo, what's going on? Terrell Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC, and all that other sweet, beautiful shit. I think I messed that up. Here we go. Someone asked me, what do I think about Ron Ramos, the great judge Ron Ramos? And I tell you, let me start with the good and the bad. Ron's always seemed like he's been a real cool guy every time I've been around him. He's been a cool guy, man. Ron seems to be a good guy, man. He's always nice to people. I've never seen him be an asshole to anyone personally, and he's super knowledgeable. That's how you get a name like Papa Pitt. Ron knows his dogs, man. He's educated a lot of people about not only the pit bull but about the American bully. He's educated a lot of people about structure. He's educated a lot of people about health. As a judge, I think he knows what he's doing. And as a matter of fact, Ron was actually the judge who gave Denzel his national championship win. And I understand the controversy now, and I'm on the side of most people when they talk about Mr. Ramos now that it's a letdown. It's a letdown, and I think it's more so of a letdown because of all that he taught about about doing the right things. That now we see him sort of making steps. We talk about guys like Bashar. Um, you can't, I've never seen Ron with a terrible dog, but we do have our opinions on that blood, and I think more so when you talk about Ron, the thing of it is that you have such a high expectation for someone that you look at in this community as just a legend and a leader in the community, and we've seen this in many ways, and for him to be directly aligned with a person who's considered to probably be the biggest scumbag breeder in in the breed, uh, is rough. It's rough. It's hard to differentiate the two. And I can't speak for what his intentions are with these dogs. If because in his mind, it may be a thing of knowing how he likes to breed a certain type of dog and make it healthy and everything. He might be like, well, hey, I'm gonna rock with this style, but I'm gonna do this style at the highest level, and I'm gonna make this thing, a great thing. And if that's what he does, then that's amazing. But like everyone else says, and I'm bumbling around with the words because I got a good respect for Rob, but to see even the way the whole thing, and keep in mind, I'm gonna preface this by saying, everybody knows that Dave, and the ABKC will lie, So whatever rumors they tried to put out there about Ron and the reason he left and all of this, if I were you personally, I would take it with a grain of salt because I remember shortly, I was at his last show, and I remember shortly after that show, I remember the ABKC with Dave Wilson being the speaker for the ABKC did a big old tribute video to Ron, and talking about how great of a man he was and he was there for the breed and everything. And then, later it seemed like that it became some tension and it was a lot of slandering of Ron when he wasn't actually retiring, but he moved away from the ABKC possibly because of things he didn't agree with. So, anything that you take in, what I'm saying, when it comes to from that circle, you have to take with a grain of salt because, you know, I've heard it. I've heard it from the horse's mouth and the way they talk bad about him and different things. Well, let me say not they, but the way that a certain person talk bad about him and different things of that nature. And I really just don't see where he's been a bad guy. I think and this is an opinion. So even in my opinion, it's just an opinion. But by dealing with Bashar and dealing with those dogs and knowing everything that's going on behind those dogs, and even everything that's went on behind Bashar and his dealings, I think it was a tough decision. I think it was a bad decision. And any dog man that has gained respect for having put the breed first will always take a pounding when it comes to dealing with you know that type of entity, someone who's basically known as a puppy miller and a dog abuser. So for Ron, mixing and mingling and doing a lot of breedings with Bashar, now a lot of the community looks at him differently. I would say before we do that, And I keep in mind, I do stand my ground on it. I don't like what's going on, especially knowing what we know about, the person that he's dealing with. But, have we seen a train wreck dog come from Mr. Ramos? I haven't. You may have. I haven't. So until, we start seeing him push train wrecks, then it's going to be hard for me to really go in and say that you're doing the wrong, you're doing everything wrong, because ultimately, what I preach and what I'm hoping for the community is that everybody goes with healthy, better conformation dogs, and it seems like Ron's been obtaining that, even using words that I think, wouldn't do it, but he's obtaining good results, and he's doing his things. So with that being said, man, I have nothing but respect for Ron Ramos as a dog, man. And like I say, I still say that those decisions, although disappointing to me personally and to a lot of people who were fans of his, they were his decisions and something that ultimately he'll have to live with. Could it change his legacy? I think it already did. But I haven't seen Ron do anything scandalous, and I would never come on a video and say that he did something scandalous. Like I say, I think it's a big disappointment, and I think we have to differentiate the two. And what I mean by that is some people make, what we would deem to be poor decisions, and other people make, scandalous decisions where they're going in with the intent to try to harm or, you know, however you look at it, cheat, scam, whatever, the system. And I think, when you talk about Ron, I really don't get that. But when I talk about some of the other people I do, I definitely get that. So, with respect to the brother, man, like I say, I don't have to agree with what the type of breedings he's doing, and, even, whatever's going on with the judging or any of that. I don't have to agree with that. But the one thing I'll say is that I haven't seen anything that would make me say, Ron Ramos totally sold out the breed and this and that and the other. I haven't seen it. And I keep saying I haven't seen it. So if anybody's watching this video, if you're going to jump on the post and you're like, what about this and this and that and the other? Just remember, I'm telling you, I haven't seen it. I'm not saying that certain things don't exist that might be even a little scandalous or whatever. I just haven't seen it personally. My personal opinion of Mr. Ramos is that he always treated me good. I always seen him trying to help people, and I always seen him, uphold his integrity, until I think some of the situations he was forced into ABKC, and that's why he left. I think, I don't just think I heard from good sources that, some of the things that went on with him later in judging with the ABKC, a lot of it came down to his hand being forced by the people up top to pick certain dogs, and that was sort of what made him, fake a retirement and go to another registry. So, with all that being said, man, God bless y'all. I answered the question. Like I say, sometimes it's not going to be a direct answer. We're going to have to make our decisions on our own. But the most important thing is that if he is doing that blood, and that blood is now a part of the American bully world, that he improves it, and he has the ability to prove it a lot more than the person who made it. Until next time, y'all, much love. Peace.